MCs once traveled the same road with one common goal in mind: to put St. Louis on the map.
It ain't strange if I hit that angel dust, get my anger upturned, jumping out his brain, get crushed, shots point blank range, bang, he fucked his soul flying, I'm still burned, even his guardian angel ducked.
Through hard work and classic battles, that goal was achieved.
You ain't never been in the field. Show me a scar too. Hey man, I want human being, but got the heart at you. If you don't understand my warning, I bet your daughter do.
But somewhere along their road to success, things changed. Differences came between them, and friendships were lost.
You know, it's y'all fault. If y'all gas the nigga up, y'all make the nigga feel like he better than me.
Niggas clowns, man. And real talk, hey nerd, when you get from under the dryer you under right now, listen closer. You's a dead shower cap walker.
And now the one match they were never seeking may be the most important match of their career.
The thing about Holla is good, but he's not from the level that I'm on. You see what I'm saying? Holla is good. He's good as my shooter. He's good as my shooter, but not as a front.
Hey nerd, look at me when I'm talking to you, nigga. Don't get scared now. You can fool all the mother niggas. I'm everything you fear in a battle, nigga. I know exactly what to do with you.
All differences are settled on one stage.
I started this shit. I'm the face of this shit. When St. Louis went cold, it was me. It wasn't nobody else.
Shut up, nigga. Scary ass, man.
The thing is, when you stand in front of me, you got to take this shit from me. It should be a whole other thing. I promise you.
Sometimes you gotta take your nigga out in the backyard and get the shit off your chest.
Dirty ass. That nigga can't fuck with me. I'm the reason niggas around this motherfucker breathing.
Y'all know the last time I was mad and pissed off before a battle, a nigga's soul left the earth.
If you're not battling here, it just doesn't count.
Lil' bro been gassed up too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, it's the New York niggas that be in his head. You know what I'm saying? New York niggas all in his head like, nah man, you better than Bird. No. Wrong.
I'm way too rough for you. I got way too much of this. You know that. You know that. I don't know where yours at.
You can't fuck with no motherfucking Captain One.
Hey nerd, you fucking nerds.
In a nutshell, man, it is what it is. Like, he been gassed up. When bro want that show, I'm gonna show that nigga this shit real.
I hate to kill a St. Louis nigga, but it come down to it.
You want respect, it must be earned. Excellence, superiority.
I ain't killed a nigga in a while.
Y'all can't fuck with me. Y'all stupid.
There's only one place in the world where these qualities are demonstrated, where the best lyricists meet to decide who is supreme.
Y'all want the bad guy? Bad guy hurt.
You can get y'all all that real nigga shit. Nah, I ain't this me.
URL presents Hitman Holla vs. Aver, live in St. Louis, Missouri, February 25th. Don't miss history. The URL, Ultimate Rap League. We just don't stop. Also, on Super Bowl Sunday, URL presents the VIP event taking place at New York City's Webster Hall, 125 East 11th Street. 4 exclusive battles. X Factor versus Charlie Clips. Rosenberg versus B Magic. John the Don versus Bill Collector. And Ill versus Conceited. Make sure you don't miss history. These battles are exclusive. There's only 100 tickets on sale. Each ticket is $100. Make sure you buy your way into witnessing this historic event. The URL, Ultimate Rap League.
Welcome to URL's Battle Rap Arena. I'm Jesserican, joined by my co-host, URL's own street star, Norbs. Norbs, what's going on, man? Huge guest tonight. Huge guest tonight.
You know how it is, brother.
What's up, man? Bill Collector interviews out. Shout out to the Hip Hop Cycle. Bill Collector, he made me a believer yesterday. I'm picking him over John the Don. You know, I think you were smart. You put your money on Bill Collector, too. I'm a Bill Collector fan. And I'm not going to change my answer when John Jones comes on, Norb. I might not say it, but I'm not going to change the answer.
No, I mean, I like Bill, but I'm a big fan of Bill as well. John John's is definitely a tough battle. Probably his biggest battle up to date. Definitely his biggest battle up to date. So, you know, John definitely has that experience. You know, he's been around the ring for a while. Bill Collector is a little new to the scene in terms of experience. I would have to go with, I would say that John has the experience. But, like I said, it's a new day and age, and it might be time for, you know, it might be Bill's time. So, it's going to be crazy.
Peasy, we got you on the line with Norbs. Go ahead, Peasy first.
Norbs, when is C-Money going to be on the URL? I think he's ready. I know y'all had y'all differences and y'all settled it, but it's time to get him on there.
I don't know, man. As of right now, we haven't spoke about it.
Okay.
Like I said, can it happen? I don't know yet. You're not sure. You know what I mean? But I definitely think Team is talented, and we'll see what happens down the line. You know, but as of now, we haven't made any we haven't reached out or anything like that.
All right, I know what this caller is going to be doing. Super Bowl Sunday while football game is going on. He's going to be watching Sue Surf and Big T. It's Real. What up, Real? Got anything for Norbs?
What's going on, Norbs? What you eating? Oh, I'm eating some ham, actually.
Hey, I heard what you said about the Bill Collector and John. Like, I told Bill Collector on Twitter that John's gonna be his hardest opponent because John ain't no joke. But I got Bill Collector to probably edge him out, definitely. What up, Peasy?
Oh, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like I said, like that's a battle that I'm actually looking forward to. The card is crazy, man. Only like URL can do it. Then after that is a card right after, so you know URL is gonna be pretty busy with 2012. It's gonna be a really big year. We have a lot of surprises for fans coming up, so stay tuned and.
347-215-6721. Norbs seemed to cut off. I got cut off the show. The show cut us off, but we're going to come back with a huge guest. We got Iron Solomon on tonight, 1 a.m. Eastern. Join us at URL's Battle Rap Arena every Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
Yo, Jess.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, Norbs. We have the guest of the hour coming on?
Yeah, he was on right now. I'm about to bring him back on. I gotta do the reintroduction. Obviously, you're about to get fired. Just let everybody know. Jesse's about to get fired. So everybody's wishes will come true soon. Okay?
Go ahead, bring us Iron Solomon. Well, we got Iron Solomon on there. I don't know what happened with the Blog Talk Radio. It seemed to have kicked us off. Now we're waiting for Norbs to come back on. So, yeah, Real, what do you think about Solomon? A fan of his or mediocre? What?
No, I think Solomon's alright. You know what I'm saying?
Jesse, guys. I mean to cut you off, but I got the main man, my main man, Iron Solomon. Welcome, Iron Solomon.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Iron Solomon, welcome to URL's Battle Rap Arena.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you. Glad to be here.
First off, what's up, Iron? Where you been, man? What's going on, Iron Solomon? Give us a quick update.
I've been, in the studios, in the boardroom, working on music and getting things ready for this album release. I'm actually handing in the album as we speak. Just delivered all the artwork and the files and whatnot, the final songs, final masters, and already started working on, the next couple projects. But in the meantime, shooting videos for the songs and just getting the marketing and the promo and all that stuff together. It takes a lot more work than it seems like from the outside because I'm involved in every step of the way. I do my own production, play instruments on the stuff, and you know, do the artwork and handle a lot of the business behind the scenes. So, you know, it's a time turner thing, you know what I mean?
Congratulations on that, and I've seen the videos. Love what you're doing. Seen the joint with DMC. I love Spring Fever. I wasn't crazy about the video. I mean, the video was cool, except for the guy from in the back. I don't know what happened with that guy dancing or nothing like that, but whatever. But the song was great. Let's take it back to where Iron Solomon first began. Yeah. Take us back to when you first decided, yo, this is what I'm gonna do. What were the steps you were taking in terms of the battling to get you back on, to get you on? What was the first battle you remember?
You know, the first probably just, you know, casual battle that I was in was probably in math class. But, you know, the first real, like, official joint that I was in was Bragging Rights, which was like a tournament-style battle at Wetlands, which is, you know, now defunct club in New York that I used to have. You know, it was actually one of my favorite venues in New York City. So, yeah, I had been there once or twice to witness it, and I just felt like, you know, if I'm going to be serious about being an MC, like, I just have to step in no matter how intimidating it might be, and I put my name in a hat, because in those days, you know, they would pre-select 8 MCs, and then, like, 8 MCs you pick randomly from a hat. So I put my name in, and I got picked, and I did I was, like, number 3 or number 4 out of 16 people, and I just, you know, I was hooked. So that's kind of, that was probably the jumping off point.
Now, from there, what was your next step from there? Because I know you did, I think you did Scribble Jam, if I'm not mistaken. What was the next step from there?
You know, I wasn't like battling too heavy, but, you know, I was always making music, and I was organizing events when I was in school, and throwing concerts and whatnot, and then, just, you know, kind of started jumping into whatever battles I could, because I felt like it would be good exposure. And I did, you know, I did a ton of battles in Ohio. I was in school out there, and then I was like basically taking my rent money and paying for plane tickets to go to battles all over the country. So, you know, I would have my little rent money that, you know, was from my little tiny crib in the middle of nowhere in Ohio, and I would fly to Kentucky or fly to Atlanta, just dolo, all alone, you know, just go out there with really my last dollar, and was just winning and bringing back money. And that was kind of like the grind right there. And then when I came back to New York, I jumped in Scribble, and I, you know, did the Fight Klub thing, and did Smack. You know, it kind of just snowballed from there. Every time I thought I was going to kind of step away from it, just bigger and better opportunities just kind of got thrown my way. So, you know, I'm just rolling with the punches, you know.
Now, Scribble, due to Scribble Jam and all that stuff, there was a kind of a legend born, and I used to always hear a lot about Iron Solomon. First of all, I didn't even know you were white, first of all, and people were always mentioning you. And this is like I'm saying, I want to say like 2000, I want to say 2006, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not even sure of the dates, but there was always people mentioning you. Now, you took a route that's a lot different than most of the MCs that are out now, because, you know, you have the URL and you have the King of the Dot that are real established leagues that are kind of like, it's more, you did more of a hustle and got out there without the internet and stuff like that, because most people were going by tapes back then and all that stuff. Now, as a white MC, you come on and you go do Smack. How difficult was it through these years battling as a white MC, and when you got to Smack, you kind of crossed over and you kind of clashed both? Can you get into that? Can you tell us how that worked?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, you know, I grew up with all different types of people, and I think New York is one of the most integrated cities. So there's certain instances where we're not as conscious of race in that way. But, you know, of course, as an MC, being aware of the culture, like, you know, I'm very self-aware and conscious of the fact that I'm a super fucking extremely white person. And, you know, it's a double-edged sword sometimes, because I think a lot of battles I jumped in, they would just look at me like there was no chance that I could even hold my own. So then sometimes, you know, even if I was just decent, it might be received like even more impactfully because it's like, you know, it's like the Mr. Ed effect. Like, I can't believe this horse is even talking. You know, like, I can't believe this white guy just said that. You know, at the same time, there was definitely certain difficulties, you know, being accepted because of that. And, like, you know, when I wanted to jump into Fight Club and I wanted to jump into Smack, I think, you know, I maybe had to do a little more work than if I wasn't white to get into those arenas. So, you know, I think there have been advantages and then there have also been disadvantages. But ultimately, you know, I think the fact that I'm from New York City, grew up with just every kind of person, like, I know everybody, like, you know, I know the Upper East Side, penthouse white kids, and I know the most, like, hood dudes that just came home, and I have something to relate to with all of them because, you know, we're all human beings, and I think that ultimately the fact that I'm able to just interact with all those people and speak to them on a real level, that's what ends up translating in the battles, and that's why, you know, being on Smack, being the first white guy to battle on Smack, which is, you know, really pretty historical and something that I'm definitely proud of. And, you know, I grew up watching Smack DVDs. I came up watching Fight Club, watching Scribble, because, you know, we just eat up hip-hop. Like, you know, I'm just addicted to the culture. So,
now,
yeah.
Now, having said that, the first time I actually seen you on a battle was actually you versus Math. But I heard of you. And when that battle dropped, when that battle went down, a lot of people were just like, all right, whatever. It's Math, kind of an unknown but known dude off of the punch. You take the battle, and you guys make a classic. Now, from my understanding, there was 2 other opponents that you had asked for at that time, and they turned it down, if I'm not mistaken. Take us through the process of you accepting the Math battle, especially he was a relatively unknown person because his Fight Club battles weren't out. He was known through the Fight Club, and he was known for the punch. Why did you accept that matchup, and how did it come about?
To be honest, I don't even remember who the other 2 were. But I know that, you know, Beasley. I've known Beasley for a while, and I think Beasley just called me. I remember, you know, it's funny sometimes you remember the scenery from when something happened. I remember being in the bodega on the corner, and I got the call. And, you know, for me, it was more about being on Smack, and I've never been somebody who's been, like, super focused on my opponents, like, yo, it's got to be this guy, it's got to be that guy. Like, you know, at that point in my career and at that point in, you know, I battled so many unknown people in my life. Like, I've battled so many people that just, I didn't care. I spent money to get there. You know, I just wanted the exposure. I felt like they needed to get taken off the stage. So for me, you know, it was more about being on Smack, and it was more about the arena. You know, there's a lot of things that can go into a battle or any situation that can make it worthwhile or not worthwhile. It's not always how dope the opponent is. It's not always how much money it is. You know, it's not always the arena or the situation, but, you know, any of those factors play a role. So for me, you know, I already knew who Matt was. Like, you know, I knew that he was dope. I respected him, and you know, it was an honor and a pleasure to be in the same ring. And just that venue of that Smack DVD was something that I just grew up on, man. And it was an opportunity I really just couldn't turn down either way, you know.
Yeah, and it was one of the most monumental battles in the history of battle rap. Especially, you guys basically crossed each other's genres in a sense where you had the respect and from the whole, like, Midwest, like, Scribble Jam era and, you know, the Rap Olympics type stuff. And after I seen that battle, I did my research on you. I started looking at, I seen you battle the kid without the shirt, Flames. Shout out to Flames, which was a weird battle.
Flames, he's dope.
I don't even know how you battled a dude wearing threes and no shirt. That was crazy. And shout out to Flames, though. That's my dude. And now tell us, after that battle drops, how different? What was the impact of that? Because I know the impact on what I seen. Yo, who's this white dude? Like, my first impressions were like, yo, although you lost, I mean, you know what I mean? It was.
After I won that battle, the impact, you know, I saw a lot more of a, like, street element, you know, a lot more hood dudes coming up to me and recognizing me. and then, you know, more industry interest, more really with each of those opportunities, like if you're making the right moves, like each opportunity should be bigger and better than the last one. And, you know, we did that one. It didn't drop for a while, so I wasn't necessarily thinking about it when it dropped. And I think I heard from people on the street that it was out before I actually knew that it was out. So that's always a good feeling to get, you know, recognized by it. I think the first person who told me actually was like, yo, I just came home, and the first thing I did was go to 125th and cop the Smack DVD, and I just seen you on it like yesterday. So, you know, that just kind of illustrates the way that the fan base had expanded, or the visibility had expanded into kind of a little bit of a different area.
And then it was crazy because speaking to Math about it, because, you know, Math is Morris or whatever, he was a little upset when that DVD dropped. Because, you know why? It was, they only showed the first round. No, they only showed the first round of that battle. So a lot of people were like, yo, Solomon went crazy. And I'm not going to lie, when I seen that first round, I was like, if this dude has another one of these, Math's in trouble. Now, that's when the internet, Smack started pushing the internet era stuff after that. The battle was amazing. You guys basically went crazy. What was your next battle after that? And was it the gym battle, or was that before that?
I think no. The next battle was Enes. The gym battle had been before the Math battle.
So the gym battle, that was, I don't even want to talk about that battle. Actually, that was crazy. Although I heard you guys actually had a watch that you guys betted on. I heard multiple different stories about that. Because, you know, can you clarify that? Because people told me about, I don't know. Just tell us about the whole situation with that.
Yeah, so my man Coop, I think he's on Twitter as at Mr. Coop. That's my homeboy. He, you know, the first time I met him was at the gym battle, and I was outside just kind of on a humble, you know, like you said at that time, maybe, you know, the Fight Club crowd hadn't really fully heard of me yet, or certain people did, but I wasn't a, you know, recognized face, so I was online outside, like waiting, even though we were the title match that night. You know, I was outside kind of on the humble. My dude Coop recognized me, and he had like a straight up fucking dinner plate of diamonds on his neck, you know, like just a humongous pendant, and was like, yo, I heard about you, I'm gonna bet on you, you know, like da da da. And I was like, cool, you know, like I appreciate that, you know. And there was already money on the line, because, you know, at that time at Fight Club they would put money up, and then people would make side bets. So we get to the table, and, you know, they say the battle is for X amount of money, and, you know, are there any side bets? So, like, Coop just comes out the woodwork, out the cut, and is like, yo, I got 1,000 on my man Solomon right here. And they're like, oh, okay, Jin, you know, you got 1,000, you gonna match that? And Jin and he's like, oh yeah, of course. So Coop is like, you know, oh yeah, it's just that easy, you can match that? All right, well bet, I got another 1,000. Jin, you got another 1,000? He's like, yeah, of course, you know. So, but the truth is, it wasn't that easy, and his people couldn't really quite break together the extra G. I think that, you know, it was like maybe 960 for even the first G was like not quite a full stack. And so his manager put up his watch, which had a little shimmer and shine to it. You know, it was a pretty serious watch. It was definitely like several $1,000s at the least. And so the money was on the table with the watch, and obviously we know, you know, which end of the table the watch ended up on. But you know, I'm not sure what transpired outside, but I know that there was a situation where maybe the watch got bought back, and you know, they had to go to the ATM and take some money out. But, you know, there's a little limit on the ATM, so there's probably a little line at the ATM to try to add all the money up to buy that watch back.
Nah, I heard a lot of stories about that. It was funny when I heard that. Now,
yeah, Coop, yo, I heard Coop too, because Coop, you know, he could give you a little different eyewitness account, because I wasn't downstairs. I just heard about that, what transpired afterwards with the watch, that people were kind of running around asking about the watch. I was upstairs getting my paper correct and just building with Nick and P, and, you know, enjoying the aftermath. And then I came down and I heard the story kind of secondhand. So my man, Mr. Coop, could probably, you know, recount that word for word.
Well, and that's insane, because
I mean, I'd be upset first of all losing that much money, but you know, now your legend is born. You do the math battle. You took a brief hiatus to focus on your music, and then you take the E-Ness battle. Which, by the way, I was upset at because I offered it to you first.
You know, I'm going to claim, I'm going to plead the fifth because I don't remember that, but I apologize if that's the case.
No, you're still my man. It's all good. You take the E-Ness battle. Actually, let's go before that. You actually end up calling out Murder Mook and Loaded Lux. Now, if I'm not mistaken, on Hot 97 we spoke about the Murder Mook situation. I heard Miss Info actually got involved with that. How did that come about?
Yeah. So that was, you know, that night at Fight Klub when I battled the kid, Young Zim, I was actually supposed to battle Mook initially. And, you know, I can't speak on it. I don't want to throw dirt on Mook's name or anything because I don't know if he actually committed and then he backed out or if he had never committed. So I can't, you know, throw salt in that direction. But from my understanding, I was supposed to battle him and I wasn't. And, you know, Mook, as anybody who's at the top of the battle scene or not even at the top, everybody got a target on his back. And, you know, I was just like, damn, you know, this opportunity is so huge. And I was, you know, I grew up watching Mook on the DVDs. Like, let me just aim high. You know, if I'm a battle this guy that I hadn't really heard of, you know, at the time, like Zim been doing his thing now for sure. But at the time, I didn't really, you know, he wasn't making noise quite yet. So I wanted to make it more impactful, you know, and obviously it was because they played it on Hot 97. You know, they played that round and they played that line and all that. So. You know, obviously it didn't materialize yet. Who knows what'll happen? But it was a good little moment in time, and it got a little shine. And so, you know, that's what it's all about, right? We got to make a spectacle of things sometimes.
Now let's speed up to recently. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and now you're getting called out by numerous artists. But let's go into the two main artists that have been calling you out. Loaded Lux had the press conference, and in his press conference,
If you could call it that.
Well, I mean, 5 people and, you know, a couple.
He was hanging out in the DVD store.
He was at Black Star. Shout out to Pop and everybody over there.
For sure.
He had the big table out there. He had the little list he had. And he names 3 MCs. And you happen to be the number 1 MC. What was your reaction to Loaded Lux, now unretiring, holding his meeting, or press conference, or whatever you want to call it, and calling you out with the number 1? And you did turn it down at the time. Why did you turn it down, and what was your initial reaction to that press conference?
You know, first of all, Lux is a legend and a genius, really, and somebody that obviously, you know, cares about hip-hop culture and cares about lyricism, like, to a ridiculous degree, because he's crazy nice at the wordplay, crazy nice at the performance. Again, somebody I grew up as a kid, like, watching him on Smack and him and Mook, you know, battle it out and stuff like that. So just for the fact alone that he loves hip-hop and loves lyricism as much as I do, like, you know, that's my brother, that's your brother. We have that connection, like, of course. You know, at the time, I was a little disappointed because, you know, as a man, Lux has my phone number. Like, we spoke, it's super cordial, we see each other, we say what up. I would always appreciate a phone call or appreciate, you know, not have to find out through the internet that this is going on. But at the same time, you know, he was real respectful about it. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is somebody I like, grew up watching. So obviously he was steps ahead of me, and now he's turning around to call me out. So to me, you know, that's a good sign for where I'm at, because there was a time where he didn't know who I was, or I couldn't get onto my DVD, or I couldn't get Fight Klub, or I had to send audition tapes to even get into him. So ultimately, it's just a good sign. It's a good sign that people of that caliber are, you know, saying my name.
Now, there was another guy, similar, kind of your grind in terms of what he's accomplished and what he's doing, Disaster. what do you feel about Disaster? And is there a possibility of you even considering battling Disaster in the future, if you are, even considering coming back?
Yeah, I'd say anything is possible. At the moment, like, again, with Disaster, I mean, he's a fucking monster. I've seen him, he has that same energy when I was, spending my last dollar to go to battles and just not giving a fuck and just tearing people's heads off. He got that energy, and he's just a beast and a monster, and is clearly, like, one of the best who's doing it now and is in the position to maybe be one of the greats, of all time. Like, he's dope as hell. I respect he's aiming high. I got a target on my back like everybody else, and that's his job. He's supposed to call me out. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And at the moment, I'm not too focused on it, but you never know. I mean, he's doing his thing, and a lot of people are asking for it. So, even with the Lux thing, you never know. That stuff might happen. I'll never ever retire from jumping in the ring, because to me, making music and battling and there are a lot of different elements of being an MC, and just growing up around hip hop and soaking it in like that, and wanted to make sure that I was actually an MC. I'm a rapper for real. Like, I don't just make a snap song. Like, I don't just make this. I don't just make that. Like, I'll go in the studio and make some heartfelt shit. I'll go in and make some party fun shit. I'll go in and make some lyrical shit, and I'll jump in the ring and battle. And to me, what it means to be an MC always will entail all of those things. So I'll never ever be like, I'm done. I'm never battling. I might be in a wheelchair with gray hair, and I'll roll up to you real quick and try to kick a little something. So
I don't know, man. Ignore that. Don't worry about that. Now, actually, that was the third MC. Les McCall, I just had to bring him up. I totally forgot him. Shout out to him, though. Howell Don. Now, Howell Don probably the third most popular battler that wants a battle. How do you feel about that? And which out of the three, if you had your choice right now, would you consider battling? And tell me the problems each of those three would pose to you.
Man, again, Hollow is just a fucking monster, man. That dude is incredible, and is another person along with Disaster and Lux in his prime and all that. That just makes the battle scene exciting to watch, and makes me proud that New York has a spot where it's supposed to be, and that he's going to grind time and doing smack, and he's crossing the boundaries that I crossed, and I wanted to bridge those gaps, and that tradition is carried on. I speak to Hollow, we talk about it, and it's definitely in the air. We'll see if that happens, because I think that would be big for the fans. It would probably be big for both of us, and that's definitely the possibility.
Now, out of the three I named,
yeah,
who would be your choice to come back and battle? And out of the three,
I can't really call it. I might have to come back into the battle all three of them in the same night.
So we're gonna do that shit on the 2-year anniversary on Smack URL. We're gonna battle all three of them. I don't know, man. That's kind of difficult. Disaster's kind of crazy. Hollow. I mean, they all got their strengths. You got Lux, probably the prototypical Smack rapper. Hollow, probably the best of both worlds. And then Disaster's possibly the new version of Solomon, to be honest with you, in terms of, before he got a shot to Smack, actually, but the new version of Solomon in terms of,
what's up with that? You gonna let him battle on Smack?
Oh, I'm a big fan of Disaster. I love Bashir. That's my dude. He's coming. I'm gonna just say he's gonna come. It's just
that's what the people want to see, man. They want to see Disaster on Smack.
So tell me, who would it be? What would each guy? What would they bring to the table against you?
I mean, they probably would bring something different that I can't even expect, because each one of them is so smart and so strategic that the way that they've been able to survive in this game is by just doing something new and unexpected every time. But, Disaster, like I said, he's crazy aggressive with it, and his punchlines, his content is just so vicious that, like, sometimes that energy is just like a black hole. You can't really compete with that. You can't you can't really beat him at his own game because he's the best at it, and sometimes the stones that you throw at him just pale in comparison to how raw he is, you know what I mean? And Hollow has just got just charisma for days. I mean, this dude with his snowed hat and his lean and all the things he got going on, like, he's a true entertainer, and he uses it up so well with the wordplay, with the comedy, with the tough shit. You know, it's when someone is so endearing like that, like you just want to watch them, you know, perform. That's something that's hard to overcome. And Lux, you know, Lux is an OG. Like he really, him and Mook, they wrote the book on wordplay in an MC battle. Like the guidelines that those guys set, when you watch Conceited or Hollow, you know, any of these guys that are keeping up that tradition of the double entendre and this and that and the multiple references, guys are doing that in like the 90s, early 2000s, you know. I think you get battles up against battles you see coming out now, and it's still relevant. Like
Mook versus Lux. I bet there's people that watched that when it came out, and if they watch it today, they'll catch lines and references that they didn't even catch years ago when they watched it. So, you know, that again, that's something that's hard to compete with. And you know, he got that little Harlem extra pimp shit. So, you know, that stuff is difficult. So, you know, everybody would be tough in their own right.
Now, another quick question. In terms of the streets and most people that view hip-hop, a lot of people view you, in terms of the battle world, as the millennium version of what Eminem was to the Rap Olympics and stuff like that in 2000 on. Is that a lot of pressure for you as an MC, knowing that, you know, he eventually crossed over and became who Eminem is how do you respond to that? 'Cause that's what people view you as. When they talk about Eminem being one of the greatest or the greatest battler of all time, a lot of people reference you to him for the fact that obviously you're both white and you are, you know, I've always mentioned with him. How does that feel?
I mean, you know, it's incredible. Like, you know, Eminem is one of the greatest to ever make hip hop. Period. You know, like, he's definitely one of the best hip hop artists in history. He's one of the best musical artists in history. So to be mentioned with him is dope. You know, I think that what Eminem has achieved and who he is as a person is a specific moment in time. And, you know, that exact thing will never be created again. But to think that whatever I'm doing lyrically or energy-wise or my performance, whatever I'm doing, if that's reminiscent of the energy that he brought to the table without being, like, derivative, I'm not, you know, I'll take a page from his book like I do from every great MC, but I'm not copying his style, and I don't think that people, you know, see it that way. But to be comparing me in any way, you know, it's great. And as an MC who knows what a battle is, like, being under pressure is where we thrive. You know, like, anybody who jumps in the ring will tell you, like, we're addicted to that pressure. Like, if it's not stressful, if it's not terrifying, and it doesn't take an incredible amount of fucking balls and bravery, like, then we're not part of it, you know. So to have that as my driving force, like, I gotta live up to this dude. Like, let's go. You know, I'm gonna do my best to try to do my best. You know.
Now, I have this argument with my brother all the freaking time, and he's like the biggest Eminem fan. And I came out and I said, if Eminem were to battle Iron Solomon today on the URL, I'm putting my money on Iron Solomon. And this is not, I'm not bullshit saying this because Iron's on the phone. This is actually a real conversation with me and my brother. We have it all the time. Do you think you could beat Eminem at this time? If at this hour, right now, you guys go toe-to-toe on the URL, will you beat Eminem?
I think it's definitely possible. I think, again, you know, like, obviously he's one of the most creative MCs in history. So if he stepped back in the ring, like, when he stepped in the ring the first time, he elevated the game. Like, the multi-syllable, like, outlandish, outrageous scenarios that he was painting is something that we still do to this day. Like, you know, Hollow definitely you could trace some of his style to Eminem. Disaster, you could trace some of his style to Eminem. So for somebody who's done that before, he could probably do it again. But for me, I never think about the opponent as the person I'm competing against. I always feel like I'm competing against myself, and that I have the potential to beat anybody. It's just up to me to make it happen, you know. So if I put the right energy in it, you know, I might double your money for you, Norris. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, I will. The only person I won't put my money on you against is the guy that beat you, Math.
I know you were going to say a Math off a rematch.
No, a lot of people don't want to see that. You think there's a possibility Math or Solomon too? Because it might
rematch?
It might be. I mean, it's always mentioned behind Mook and Lux, or as much as Mook and Lux, as one of the greatest out of all time.
He's still rapping after what Calico did there?
You know you're gonna get the phone call now. Now you know Matt's gonna come at you.
Nah, man, Matt is my brother. Like, you know, that battle is so classic between he and I, and then beyond that, after that, like, you know, we just formed a friendship, and we see eye to eye on certain things. We became people like the way I am with anybody who I respect and appreciate their craft. So that's my brother, man, and that, you know, things happen. That was just a moment in time, and of course, you know, it would be dope to do a rematch. I know that people are asking for it, so if the right situation arises, you know, that's definitely a possibility.
I mean, I hate to see you lose twice, but you know, let's get to the fans. I already got questions for my main man, Iron Solomon.
We got 678 here. You're live on the air with Iron.
Hello, Iron. This is Off Limits. You basically touched on all my questions during your interview. So since you do keep up with battle rap till today, who's in your top 3?
Man, you know, to be honest, I can't even really answer that because I'm going to leave somebody out, and then that's going to be the next person that calls me out because I disrespected them or whatever. But, you know, all those guys that they just mentioned are definitely up there, you know, Disaster, Hollow, Conceited, Charlie Cliff is a monster, and I can't, you know, apologies to anybody I'm not naming, but they're, like, when I watch it these days, I'm just crazy impressed because the bar just gets set higher and higher every fucking time, and, like, you know, dudes from King of the Dot are killing it, you know, everybody's smack, line time, like, there's so much talent out there, it's kind of hard for me to be like, these are the top 3 guys, because it kind of changes every week, every month, because some new battle comes out, and now you got to kind of restructure your whole bracket, you know?
So, Neil, you're live on the air with Iron Solomon.
Oh, what up? Yeah, my question for Iron Solomon is, so I know you've gone to, like, mad good schools. I know you've gone to Stuyvesant and Oberlin. So, you know, how does that play into it? Have you always been, like, good in school and that sort of got you into rapping, or?
You know, I was always around music. The thing that got me into rapping was just childhood, you know, and being, you know, I grew up in a real musical family. Like, everybody in my family is a musician. My father's a professional musician, you know, for his whole life, and my mom's in the music business and is also a musician herself. And, you know, my brother and my siblings are all musicians. So that's really what got me into music. You know, I think the school thing, I just, you know, I got, you know, a little bit of intelligence, and I know how to work hard, and I didn't always work hard, but I always got by. You know, I could do well in standardized tests and, you know, study the night before and get an A even when I didn't pay attention, or I was, you know, high or just sleeping in class the whole semester. So, you know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to have those opportunities, and I think that going to certain schools and being around other people who are intelligent and just drive you to be, you know, try to work harder or think a little more progressively, that definitely helps me and helps me understand music and understand people, because at the end of the day, when you're making music, you know, you're trying to reach people, whether you're trying to reach them to dance or reach them to, you know, speak to a struggle or experience that they're going through. So, you know, being in school and just educating myself, being around other people with creative ideas, it always just helps me, you know, view the world in a better way and then take that to my music as well.
614, you're live on the air with Iron Solomon.
Nah, y'all already asked all the questions I was about to ask.
Cool. Real, we got you live on the air with Iron Solomon. Go ahead, Real.
How you doing, sir?
What's going on, fam? How you?
Chilling, man. Like, I'm glad you're on the air because it's good to talk to somebody who went to college, you know? Because I don't talk to a lot of people who've been there.
It's not for everybody. You know, it kind of is what it is, but yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but see, like what you just said right now, your response, like you keep everything on the humble, and I like, you know, you downplay everything. You downplay your beefs. You don't talk bad about nobody, even if you really got beef with them. But I want to ask you a question. I just want some honesty. Like, I don't want you to hold back. Like, I don't want you to dumb anything down. Can you do that for me right now?
He's gonna.
Okay.
You know, you think Sue Surf is the best?
You know, even if it seems like I'm downplaying something like that, that's really how I feel. You know, like I have no problem being direct and honest and saying what it is. So yeah, of course, go for it.
Okay, for sure. Shout out Math Hopper. My question is, what do you think about rap? Like these rappers being friends with each other, being homeboys on the street. Like, do you think to the fans that looks believable when they actually battle? Do you think that downplays the actual integrity of the battle?
You know, to be honest, in my experience, like, you know, I can't speak for other people, but there are definitely people where there's some people that I feel like I'm genuine friends with, and then there's some people that, you know, I know that every time they give me a pound, they just wrote another line to try to diss me. So, you know, that type of friendship, you know, sometimes is genuine and sometimes it's not. And like, you know, for me, it would be difficult for me to battle someone I was friends with because to get in the mind state that I need to be in to really go at somebody, I got to think of a lot of real negative shit about them. So, you know, if somebody can be friends and say all that stuff, like, you know, more power to them. But it's definitely not really necessarily for me because, you know, it's tied to two different worlds.
Solomon, are we done hearing about Murder Mook? No more calling out Mook? Is that in the past?
You know, I mean, I'm always up for it. You know, I seen Mook the other day in the Bronx, and we chopped it up, had a drink, and you know, just talking about the industry and our situations and music, and you know, I'm not one to chase anything. You know, really, most of the big opportunities I've had have been pretty much handed to me, like when the gym situation or the E-Nest situation or even the whole Fight Klub situation. Like a lot of that stuff, you know, it was smack. You know, that was phone calls that came to me. So, you know, if Mook wants to step in the ring and he's ready for it, then we can always make it happen. But I respect what he's doing with the music, and I wish him the best. And I definitely, you know, I'm not chasing anybody like that, really. You know.
Okay, with 30 seconds left, tell us about which album to get, what your album dropping. Go ahead, everything.
Yeah, right now you could download the Red Rum Radio mixtape for free from djboost.net, and on March 27th, the Monster album is coming out, and that'll be on iTunes and, you know, certain retailers and pretty much everywhere online. So definitely support that. Definitely, you know, it's definitely a well-rounded project. I produced or co-produced every single song on there. I'm playing instruments on it, like writing string parts. You know, there's real songs about.
It take you a year to get prepared to jump in the ring. I'm 3 back-to-back, consistent. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm coming to perform every time. I don't need a year to battle.
When worlds collide, there can only be one result. It's do or die.
I feel like T got more to prove right now.
Every battle that Surf has had on URL was at least debatable.
Surf nice, Big T dumb nice. It's gonna be a crazy battle. T is a stubborn motherfucker. He not gonna dumb it down for none of y'all, because that's what he do.
This is gonna be a preference thing. He got energy, but I got energy, but I'm more smooth, I'm more composed.
I don't respect niggas that take 2 or 3 years off to come back and battle.
Surf just had you ready to fight or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Then Big T got that laid back smooth style, so it's gonna be they gonna clash.
Every day in my hood I'm bang. I'm a nice worker. I Kenneth Cole, 3-piece, bow tie, nice searcher. Quiet in the pulpit, mama in the front row, white Herschel with a clip out this long and it flip both ways like vice versa.
You gonna see what wild, everywhere energy to compose and, you know what I'm saying, tolerate energy.
Big T very underrated to me too.
Big T don't kill Surf. That's just what I think.
Surf a real witty ass nigga.
And Big T actually hasn't battled in over a year. And a nigga like Big T, you really can't
It's like when I really start to do Surf, it's like none of this shit new Surf. It's a whole bunch of
That ain't you, Surf. That's not too, Surf.
Dang. Remember, you going to get Mr. Chilaka Boo Surf. You know how much my Chilaka Boo's worth? Watch this so Surf.
Surf is a bar for bar type of nigga. Like, he's going bar, cause I beat niggas to death bar for bar.
Big T, like I said, man, I feel like that's one of my favorites too. Surf is fucking energetic, man. You know what I'm saying? Surf had you ready to just shoot a nigga in the club, like.
I am going to kill this nigga Surf, man.
Big Town Red. Got the cameras on. Go.
Super Bowl Sunday. Big T versus Sue Surf. Make sure you tune in live. Sue Surf versus Big T.